start somewhere.
Okay.
Start with something, even if it's something that you think is crazy small.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to RelyLocal. I'm your host, Nick Christensen. RelyLocal is a show dedicated to the survival of good things local. Our local businesses have never been under as much stress as we have today. In our show, we discuss all of the great reasons we should rely on local. Today, we are excited to have Jonathan Nelson from J. Nelson Financial with us. Welcome to RelyLocal, John.
Thank you for having me, Nick.
Yes,
Great to be
really
here.
appreciate it. I think a lot of people know about financial things, but they really don't know what's going on in their finances all the time or the need of having somebody to help them with it. I think there are a lot of aspects in people's finances that maybe they're nervous about, scared about. Maybe if I avoid it, it's going to be okay, that type of thing.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to looking at your finances in a different way. I would assume that's a big part of what people have going on, or the questions that you probably have each time, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you made some really good points there. Another
Yeah.
thing that I also see is maybe some people might be nervous or embarrassed about their situation,
Right.
or they think there's going to be a cost or a high cost involved with having a professional help them through those things. So
Oh, sure.
I certainly like to try to make it as easy as possible. I do not charge a fee for my service.
Oh, nice.
I just want to help people. And a great place to start is just getting things organized and knowing what you have going on,
I suppose.
where it is.
Yeah, makes sense.
Check on some of those things like beneficiaries and just make sure that
Sure.
your money's working for you.
Oh,
and,
sure,
And then
sure.
we get into the more in-depth planning and
Good point.
going from there.
Good point. Well, I guess starting out, how did you get into this? Where did your world come to start doing this?
Yeah, good question. I made a huge career shift, as you know, several years ago.
Right.
And I just I switched because I wanted to find a way that I could help people and make a larger and stronger impact on individual people's lives. And so I was looking to make a career change, kind of not really in this industry, but really quickly it became apparent to me that this is an industry, an area that everybody needs.
Right.
And definitely an area that makes a big impact on people's lives. Thinking about whether it's saving to buy a house or a car or sending kids to school,
Right.
retiring, whatever that might be. Everybody's situation is different, but what a huge impact it can make. And then I aligned myself right away, too, with Modern Woodmen,
Okay.
which is a great fraternal or nonprofit company,
Cool.
and does a ton for the community, with community.
Well, explain a
involvement.
little bit about that with the nonprofit situation, because I'm
Yeah.
sure a lot of people probably figure if it's financially involved, there's got to be profit involved. You know what I mean? And obviously everybody needs to be making a profit to have a business going or have a life going.
Right.
So what is that?
So, being a fraternal, it just is a different word for nonprofit. So all of the money that Modern Woodmen makes goes back to the members of Modern Woodmen and to the community. So we do that in a
Interesting.
variety of different ways. We have a lot of matching fund type fundraiser events where we're helping organizations or helping individual people.
Okay.
If there's been a loss in the family, a death in the family, for instance, we just are working on one of those right now for someone. young father who passed away, and
Oh, no.
trying to help out the kids to be able to go to school and things like that. And then, we do a lot of matching fund events where we're kind of tying on with another fundraiser that an organization might already have going, such as Boy Scouts, different organizations of that nature.
Oh,
So,
that's fantastic.
yeah, I love that.
I've been watching you with this program for quite a while now, and I'm amazed between the extra activities that you have going on with Woodmen and the programs and the chapter events and all those types of things that you have going on, and then bringing the finances in to help people. So you're kind of coming at it with a 1-2 punch to help people. Over and above, finances. People probably know about financial things a little bit, but go a little bit further into that. What do you think a lot of people misunderstand, I guess, when it comes to financial situations?
Yeah, good question. I think a lot of people feel like it's something that's only available for the very wealthy. Maybe it's something that you need a big chunk of money to get started. It's hard to start. It's overwhelming to think about. I don't know about my situation, and it's stressful just to want to spend some time with somebody and figure that stuff out.
Yeah, you were just talking about that a few minutes ago with the nervousness. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? I
yeah,
think a lot of people
exactly.
go, oh my gosh, now I have to look at my finances. Oh, I don't want to do that. If I avoid it long enough, maybe I won't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But I don't think that happens because you can't do that.
Right.
It's not going anywhere,
And there's also a common thing right now that I hear a lot from people of, oh, I'm never going to retire.
Oh, there we go.
Not that that's a problem or incorrect, but what if you don't have the option?
Right.
What if you end up becoming disabled, or you are sick, or there's some other life change in your family and your situation, and you do need to retire, or you do need to slow down.
Right.
Wouldn't it be better if you had something set up so that you wouldn't have to rely on working or earning that paycheck?
You got it.
To have that money coming in the door.
You got it. Yeah, and again, I think if people, instead of avoiding it, should be looking at it head on.
Yeah.
They should be trying to figure out something, talking with somebody like yourself, or you yourself exactly,
Yep.
and probably just laying it out. I'm sure you get that a lot. People don't think they have a lot going on, or they don't. You mentioned it, that they don't have enough going on or enough money there. But you got to start somewhere. And anybody that's had a lot of accumulated wealth started somewhere.
Right.
And you gotta move forward with that. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure you've seen that quite a bit. Do you find that a lot of people think that they have everything under control, but really don't have a lot going on?
That happens a fair amount.
Okay.
Usually, I actually see the opposite, where people think that they aren't even close to prepared, and they've just been avoiding it because of that stress and concern and worry and overwhelm.
Sure.
It's funny how often overwhelm just leads us to doing nothing versus,
Well, we
okay,
kind of freeze, It's
Yeah.
just like, oh, if I don't do this, I will be okay. If I don't do that, I'll be okay. But really, you're not,
right.
And
So I was sitting down with somebody last week, though, and she was feeling very discouraged and feeling like she hadn't done what she needed to, and her priorities were in other places at times, and was kind of embarrassed to go and look at
Life
her
happens.
stuff.
Life happens.
But I was able to very confidently share with her that, hey, that goal number that you mentioned to me a couple days ago, you're right there. It's totally foreseeable for you to get to that point. So,
Cool. That's
I
cool.
think that actually does happen to me more often than the opposite.
Oh, sure.
So it's just a matter of getting things figured out. What's where? Let's get it all organized and put it all together, and build that plan, and then work on those missing.
I guess that leads into this question. Do you find a lot of people have so many things going on in many different unconnected ways?
Oh, very much so.
Yeah. And then now, what is the best way to bring that all around, or what is the best way to solve the issue of having an organized situation to move forward better?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. We're definitely living in a world where we don't have one career for our lifetime anymore.
Good
So
point.
we've got people that have 6 different retirement accounts from 6 different employers.
Wow.
And what do we do with all this stuff?
Right.
And it looks like, by looking at one piece at a time, that doesn't look like it's going to work.
Okay.
But when you take all those things and put them all together,
Sure.
they don't necessarily need to be all in the same place either. But if we just kind of know what's going on,
Yeah.
you know,
I suppose
we might
everybody's a
feel
little
better.
different.
Absolutely.
In different age situations, different family situations, job situations,
Yep.
number situations, whatever
For sure.
it might be. So yeah, I think the biggest point is really that everybody should be looking at having professional help.
Yes.
Because a lot of times you think that you have it again under control, or maybe you're dabbling with this, or who knows, maybe you think you're a stock market whiz or something like that, or whatever it might be. That's fine. I'm sure that can be incorporated into a formal program or a platform of organized situation.
Mm-hmm.
And so, again, the conversation should be had with you, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay, that is very good. Do you find that many people, I don't know how to word this, I think the modern time today, the digital world that we're living in, a lot of people have access to a lot of information.
Agreed.
Do you find that people come to you or to talk with you with wrong information? Or where they're having a situation that they think that they know what they're doing and they've been doing it for a while, but that's sending them off into the wrong direction. Do you see that?
Yeah, that also happens quite a bit.
Okay.
And I would say, to kind of rephrase that, maybe it makes people feel a little bit better by saying it this way.
Okay.
Not necessarily wrong information,
Okay.
but information that doesn't necessarily apply in their situation specifically.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of, what we call fake news or disinformation.
Sure. Sure.
But there's also a lot of very truthful, very accurate information that's presented in the wrong way or come across by an audience that it's not necessarily
Okay.
properly suited for.
Almost like half information can be worse than no information.
Right.
Again,
Right.
if it's sending you in a direction that you shouldn't be going in, So I think that's important stuff. Kind of as we're going along here, is there like an ABC 1, 2, 3 that you think people should be looking at as a starting point to be organizing their finances? Is there something along those lines?
Yeah, definitely. Start somewhere.
Okay.
Start with something, even if it's something that you think is crazy small.
Maybe
and doesn't
like
make sense.
even just a savings account.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'm going to put $5 a week into a savings account. Hey,
Right.
you're starting. You're
Yes.
doing something.
Right.
So give yourself a pat on the back for that. And other very simple things that I don't. I work with a lot of people. I coach a lot of people on all different aspects of their financial plan.
Right.
I'm not an attorney. But something that we can do in the financial world is setting up beneficiaries or verifying our beneficiaries are who we want them to be.
Good point.
So that's a really simple step that everybody can take out there. Go to your bank, get a beneficiary listed on your account there.
Oh.
Check those 401ks and those old IRAs and retirement accounts and make sure that the beneficiary is somebody that you want it to be.
Okay.
And is current. So if it's an account that, maybe you do want your spouse listed and you've had this account for 50 years,
Right.
go ahead and update it anyways, because now it gets that, reaffirmed designation.
Okay.
So that's an easy step. And then statements are very, very valuable in my world.
I bet.
We've had a lot
Numbers don't lie.
No. And we've had a lot of regulation that has made it more and more important to have those available when we're doing financial reviews. So
Yes.
that's a third thing that is really helpful if people were to gather up those statements, at least a statement
Sure.
for each account from within the last year. And I suggest kind of putting all those in a binder to get things organized. It helps for you, helps for your own sanity. And if, God forbid, something should happen to you, it gives your heirs one place that they can go and say, okay, I know that mom or dad or my brother or sister had accounts at this place, and this
Right.
place.
Yeah, that
Because
brings up a really good
all
point.
the annual statements are right here in one place. I don't have to go hunting.
Right. You could have the greatest setup, and if nobody knows about it,
Right.
where are you going to go from there?
Right.
Because it's not in one location or it's not known by anybody.
Yep.
I'm sure the organization comes to what you have as it's also including to work your finances.
Absolutely.
So you got to do both.
Yep.
You got to do right. Makes a lot of sense. Well, in closing, what would you say for most people to help them the easiest? What do you think is kind of the quickest way for somebody to, or easiest way, maybe not quickest, but easiest way for somebody to really turn around their financial world in a way that could be the best, I guess. I don't know how to word that, but
I think I would just say be comfortable with getting some help. You'll be probably a lot less surprised in general,
Okay.
or a lot more pleasantly surprised than you thought you would be. Just build up a relationship with somebody that you can trust.
There we go.
One piece at a time, and start seeking out some help so that you can get that bullet point list of things that I need to do, things that
Sure.
this person needs to do, and kind of somewhat of a map. So a roadmap for life, whatever that goal is. We wouldn't head off on a road trip without knowing where we were going,
Right,
likely
good point.
where we're stopping along the way, things like that. Our financial freedom and our financial world is much the same way. So
it is a journey, isn't it?
Indeed it is. So just finding somebody that you can build a relationship with and trust that is going to help you get that map laid out.
Well,
for you.
for the time I've known you, John, you're the guy. You're the
Thank
one.
you. Thank you.
I believe in a lot of the things that you talk about and how you're trying to help people. It's amazing. How do people get a hold of you?
Best way to reach me through my office. The phone number is 262-221-8299.
Okay.
I also have a website. It is J. Nelson Financial Services, or jnelsonfs.com.
Okay.
And then email jnelson at m as in Mary, WAREP for representative,
Okay.
.org. So jnelson at mwarep.org.
Fantastic. Yes, I think everybody should have a conversation with Jonathan or somebody similar. I think a lot of things that are going on in your finances are mega important. When you have security within your finances, it changes your world. Wouldn't you say that, Jonathan?
Amen. Yes, sir.
The security, the comfort, the ability to do things in your life that you want to do, especially as somebody might be approaching retirement or moving or transitioning in their life. It's great to have security in life, and you can't think of something better. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for
You're
being
welcome.
with us
Thank
today.
you, Nick.
And thank you all for joining us today. It's been a fantastic conversation about finances. Our Rely on Local program is really working again to help local businesses, groups, organizations, everybody local to engage with each other and to build better. So see us next time. Please subscribe. Please like this video and share. Please let your friends know about what we have going on for local. And if you have any questions, reach out and talk with us. Thank you so much. Have a great day.